Hello art friends, welcome back to the art room. I'm so excited to do a fun lesson with you guys this week. It's a little bit of a beginning animation kind of idea. I hope that we get to explore this topic further. We're going to start out really simply today. We're going to focus on expression, on how to simply show an emotion or a feeling with color and with facial expressions, maybe a little with shape as well. The idea of this comes from some of the animated movies and how animators have a process of looking at their own face and their own motions to draw their characters and a little more realistically. I saw at the end of the behind the scenes at the end of one of the recent Disney movies, they showed the animators recording themselves doing the action that the character was going to do. So they had an idea of what their body might look like and how their face might look when they were feeling this way. And they used that as a reference for their drawings, which I thought is so cool. So today we're going to do the same thing. Your supplies are 2 sheets of paper, something to color with, scissors, and glue. And if you have a mirror handy, or you can see your reflection in a window, or maybe the mirror app on a phone handy. If you don't, that's okay. You can do it from memory too, or ask somebody in the room to make a face for you. I want you to do some observing. So that's where we're going to start today. And I want you to do a couple of different emotions, okay? I want you to make a sad face for me. All right, I want you to make a happy face. Like, oh, it's a good day. I just got an A on whatever I was working on for school. I'm gonna get to go over to my buddy's house and hang out. All right, then what about really happy face? Like, I just won the gaming system I've been wanting forever, and it's delivered to my house by my favorite YouTuber. What would that face look like? How about bored? Okay. How about unsure? What would surprised look like? As you're making these faces, think, what is changing about your face? When I said sad, when I said happy, when I said bored, what changed about your face? Your mouth will change. Your eyes change. They get wider. They get more narrow. Your eyebrows even move, right? They go up, they go down, they go in, they look funny. One thing on your face doesn't change. Take a minute and see if you can notice what doesn't change. Did I hear somebody say nose? Because you're right if you did. The nose doesn't change when we're making faces, unless you make a really silly face, and then it might some. So today we're going to just leave the nose off. We're going to be focusing on the eyes and the eyebrows and the mouth. We're going to be making our own animations today. Just simple one frame kind of animation. Let's go ahead. Let's get started. Here's what we're going to do. So, I'll show you these real quick. I have, every once in a while, I'm able to have a student kind of test out a lesson with me. And this was a 5th grader at Patterson, Liliana. I gave her just some simple instructions and asked her to try it out and see how it turned out. And I think she and I both had a lot of fun doing this lesson. So I'm hopeful that you guys will too. All right, grab your sheet of paper, just one of your 2. And we're going to fold it. So I have my paper horizontal, side to side, and I'm going to fold it horizontal, side to side. I'm going to line up my edges, crease it down. We're just going to work on one side, and then we're going to flip our paper over in a minute. All right, so all those emotions I mentioned, and there's so many more, right? I want you to think of an emotion. I want you to think of 2 things about that emotion. First of all, is there a color that emotion reminds you of? I'm going to show you the cover of this book. It's called Not Just a Scribble, which is where the idea of doing this kind of free-formed character comes from. It's a super cute book. It is a children's book. If you would like to hear the story, I encourage you. I'll put the link down below. It's the story of a scribble who doesn't feel like he belongs. And he changes color depending on his feelings. So in this picture, when you see Scribble blue, he looks sad, right? And when he's red, he looks happy. If you think back to our geode lesson, we talked about warm colors and cool colors. Warm colors are things that make us feel warm, or things to look warm when we look at them, like red, orange, and yellow remind us of fire, warmth, happy. Cool colors, the greens, purples, blues, tend to make us think of things that are calm, maybe a little more cooler, maybe sadder emotions. it's not necessary, and you may feel differently about the colors, and that's great, go for it. But think about your emotion, think about what color might go with it, and then I want you to think about a shape. So here's what I mean by that. If you're thinking about something that's surprised, and your mouth is like open, your face will be more of an oval, right? So that would be more of a shape. If you're feeling angry, you might have your jaw clenched. Your face might be more of a square or more of a squatty circle. And maybe sharper lines. So with those things in mind, grab a color. Let's see, I think my emotion, I'm gonna do unsure. I'm gonna choose a cool color for that. So I'm gonna go with purple. And unsure, I feel like maybe kind of a small, but I think it would have softer lines. It wouldn't have hard, jagged lines. You go ahead and do yours, whatever you think. So I'm gonna do like this kind of scribble. Maybe he's just a little messy, like he's not quite formed into a shape because he's unsure. All right, there's gonna be my unsure scribble. All right, I want you to think about the facial expression now. Grab your other sheet of paper, and I'm gonna use a colored pencil for this actually. You could use a regular pencil, you could use a crayon for this too. I just have a colored pencil handy. All right, so my unsured eyes, I think are going to look a little, I'm gonna make them wider. Like he's kind of watching to see what's gonna happen, and maybe make the pupil kind of wide. Biologically and symbolically, when eyes are smaller, they tend to show unfriendliness or fear or withdrawn. When eyes are bigger, the pupil, the black part of the eye is bigger, that tends to be associated with being more friendly or more out there. So you might hear in books that they had beady little eyes, or it might be described, and if you notice, even in animation, the eyes tend to be a little more sharp and small than wide. So I would feel like unsure maybe has this innocent look to it. And you know, I thought it was really fun. I didn't do it here, but to exaggerate the eyes, so you could even, you know, I think I could go bigger. I could exaggerate even more. All right, so got your eyes. Go ahead and cut those out. And remember, as you're gluing them on, you want to glue around the edges. That's the part you want to stick. The middle will stick wherever you glue the edges down. And then I think it looks kind of good to go back around and add a little bit darker line. We're kind of using that idea of value, kind of emphasizes the eyes a little more. All right, so if my eyes are trying to show unsure, I think I would have like little like curves at the edges, almost like a question mark, like ah. All right, and the mouth would be, I'm gonna do something like this. Like he's not, I don't want him to be unhappy, he's not sure. All right, and then I want you to think for a moment about how the arms and legs might be. So for unsure, I'm gonna have him like, oh, kind of like he's shrugging his shoulder. Like, I don't know. And then I think he's probably standing here really quietly. So I'm just going to have him standing really still because, you know, he doesn't know where to go. But so that would be my unsure. All right, flip it over. I want you to do a different emotion on this side. So if you did something kind of quiet on that side, try to do something that would be on the other end of the spectrum. Not necessarily the opposite, but I'm going to do elated this time. Elated is very, very happy. So to me, elated would be a bright color. I'm going to choose orange. I'm actually going to do this one with two colors. I just really have a thing for orange and pink together. And that just seems like a really happy, elated color. So elated, I think of lines that move up for elated. So I'm going to do some kind of line like this, like there's some excitement going on. Maybe a little mix up in there, because sometimes when we're excited, we're kind of unsure what we're doing. I'm going to add this other color in. And I think I want it to have a little bit more of a rounded shape. He's happy and feeling out there. And I don't know, that top just looked a little angry to me. I'm going to soften this a little. Okay. And let's think, elated eyes. Oh, I think they'll be big too. I'm going to do something just really kind of crazy big, really exaggerated. All right, and you guys get the idea. I think I would have a big pupil again. If you want some eye ideas, I have a little sample sheet that's attached to here. Might even leave a little white in there where that light's reflecting, kind of makes them look a little innocent, and that can be kind of a happy look too. I think that would go with elated. All right, there would be my elated pose. He's happy. Oh, I think I would extend these. Make it look like he's jumping. He's jumping, his hands are in the air. I might rechange that eyebrow. I don't know, but it works. It's fun. All right, so open it up and take a look at your two emotions together. What do you think? Are you showing two different things by the arms, by the eyes, by the color, by the shape? All these simple ways to convey a meaning or an emotion. All these emotions are important ones too, right? It's fine to feel all of these feelings, just like it was fine for scribble in the book, just like it's fine for our emotion guys here. All right, so not to go against the idea of showing emotion without using words, but you could give me a little meme on here. I ask my kiddos at home what they would say these expressions were, and one of my boys said, "This was when I say we're out of chips." This would be the look that he would give me. And the other one, they all had to do with food. The other one was, anybody want pizza? That would be his happy surprise look that we were having pizza. So you could give them a little title there if you wanted to. All right, if you have time, I would love to see what emotions you express. I would love to hear what thoughts you have. So snap a picture, send me an email. I'm always happy to see them. Grateful for you guys. I hope you have a wonderful week, no matter how you're feeling this week. Know that you're thought about, and I'll see you again next week.